You're watching a clip from the Club podcast.
Make sure you follow it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and give it a 5-star review.
So here you go. Here's a lovely clip from our podcast. Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the club. We are sponsored by the wonderful people over at NordVPN. And NordVPN at this moment in time is their 11th birthday. They have some huge offers. You can get 4 months free, 30 days money back guarantee. All you have to do is head over to the nordvpn.com/the club. All you have to do is head over to nordvpn.com/the club to get a hold of these exclusive offers. Tell them the club sent you. If you haven't and you don't know what a VPN is, it helps you with your security online, and it also helps me with great stuff. Like when I was out in Dublin, I couldn't watch the Manchester United match on my usual subscription services. So what did I do? I chucked the VPN on. I made it think I was in the UK. Happy days. My subscription services worked on holiday. It's absolutely fantastic. So thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring us. Make sure you download the app and enjoy this clip. Overrated or underrated? This week, we've got 3 things to discuss, players or things. First one, Raheem Sterling.
Oh, God.
Overrated,
That's a very
underrated?
good shout. It
At
depends
Man
how
City,
highly he's
I
rated.
think
isn't it?
underrated.
His legacy at Man City will be underrated because he was so technically important for Guardiola, for what he wanted to do, for creating space, for the speed of the side. But his move to Chelsea, 50 million quid, is a little bit overrated. He's not a 50 million pound player at the minute, is he? Unfortunately.
What kind of legacy will Raheem Sterling have when he finishes football? Is he a Hall of Famer, for example?
Yes.
I think
The
he's
amount of
close
Premier
to,
Leagues is one.
And the England contribution.
he's got more of a Joe Cole kind of legacy now for me because of the drop off.
Higher than that.
But
Do you
he's
think
won
it's
so much.
I know.
He won so much more than Cole.
4 Premier Leagues in 5 years.
And there was a season or so where he was one of the most influential City players.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah, but so is Joe Cole. I'm just saying that
Yes.
No, that's true.
Sterling's,
That's a good
Sterling
point.
Liverpool was considered a Wayne Rooney level talent. He was considered that kind of ceiling.
Is
He could go on to be a Real Madrid player.
overrated or underrated? I think by the average football fan, like just you ask 100 football fans, I think he's underrated. I think I might overrate him.
Yeah,
But I think that his legacy is underrated.
I agree.
I think the appreciation for Sterling is lacking.
I agree. Because even there were times where he was performing week in, week out for England or whatever it is whenever England play.
Yeah. Every other day in a tournament.
He's pivotal in the 2018
he should be
semi-final,
dropped.
getting us
And it's
there.
like we were discussing, should he be dropped? And we were saying, yeah.
Very smart.
And then he'd go and
footballer.
score in the next game for
Very
England.
intelligent.
I think overall his legacy is underrated is my final answer. But I think I perhaps overrate him because I thought he was going to be the reason we beat Real Madrid in the Bernabeu.
Here's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Aaron Ramsdale.
Oh, it's the easiest thing we've done in weeks, lads. Aaron Ramsdale is the most overrated keeper in European football.
I don't think he's overrated at
He's
all.
been relegated 5 of the last 7 years of his life.
Yeah. Relegation.
A big
fodder.
save is in him, of course.
Relegation
He does a
Ramsdale,
Hollywood
call it,
save every
in
now and
end.
then. He does a Hollywood save.
I think you're conforming to what you're saying and kind of disproving your point. I'm saying that he's underrated, and you'll start talking about his relegation. So that's clearly underrated because he's been one of the best performing
but I
keepers.
think he's overrated
He's been
for-
one of the best performing keepers in the league this year, and you're talking about him getting relegated.
No, he's overrated because I'm not listening. I
massively
don't listen to you
overrated.
about Ramsdale because I respect. I'm listening about
You don't respect his
but all the Twitter guys that are doing these clips, these highlights of Ramsdale. Mate, the guy's bang average. I don't think he's
He's
better than
not.
Pickford. I don't think he's better than
Bang
Pickford.
average.
He's
It's like
he'll
Joe
never be
Hart.
world class. He'll never
Passion
be
merchant.
world class.
He's been
Passion
world class
merchant.
this year.
He's vibes
The passion
FC.
merchant.
He's
Yeah.
the best goalkeeper in the league
No,
this
he's not.
season.
He's good for a TikTok clip.
Who's had a better
Nick
season
Pope.
than him? Nick Pope hasn't had a better season than him.
I think this season argument is tough, but people putting Aaron Ramsdale's decent
Aaron Ramsdale should have saved his second goal against West
He's
Ham.
had a decent season. It doesn't mean he's never going to be world class. He's not world
He's
class.
never going to be world class.
Surely
He's never gonna be
have,
world class.
to have a
He's
better
not now.
season than Alisson and Edison. Does that not mean that you've had a world class season?
Arsenal have had a better season than City and Liverpool. It doesn't mean he's had a better season than every goalkeeper in the
No,
league.
I'm saying that he has had a better season than Alisson and Edison.
Yeah, but how long was
Maybe Alisson, you could argue, but he's definitely had a better season than
Yeah,
Edison.
but how long was Peter Cech
Edison's
in the
gonna
league?
lift the
He wasn't
trophy.
number one. He was 1-1-1-2. You know, would have dropped off. And Ramsdale's, he's in a bit of a form where Edison
He's
doesn't
another
look as
Joe
good.
Hart. Absolute hyped up.
And Joe Hart on his
Passion
day
merchant.
was world class.
No, he was.
He was.
What day, bruv?
When he went to the
Give
new
me the
camp,
date.
he stopped Lionel
What
Messi
day?
8 times. He stopped
No, he
Lionel Messi
didn't.
8 times at the
No,
new
he
camp.
didn't.
Prime
Absolute
Lionel Messi.
What's next?
Shut up. Programs, overrated, underrated.
What, buying a program at
Match
Ground?
programs, I assume.
I mean, I've read something that I find very sad, that I think some clubs aren't even doing them anymore.
What, digital QR
I
codes?
think they are overrated because fanzines are better.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been one for buying a program, but I like the fact that they exist. I'm not a collector at all. Like, I've got ticket stubs from big games, but I'm not a collector.
I've got programs from games I went to earlier, like
I've
the
got
first 10 games. I'd have programs from them.
Yeah, but you didn't buy a program last week.
No. The only time I get a program is when they're free.
It's funny, isn't it? It's one of those weird things where I don't and haven't bought a program for years. But I like them as an institution. I wouldn't want programs to stop, but I would never invest in them.
Yeah, if they stopped, you'd be fuming.
I'd be gutted, and I'd really be offended. You know, people get really vexed about things that don't concern them. I ain't bought a program since 1998, but if they stop making them, I would be livid on Twitter.
You'd write a letter.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see that.
But no, I think they're probably, by that definition, I have to say that they're slightly. I'm overrating them, aren't I? Because I don't read them, I don't want them. I find them their club. They're so
sanitized.
They're so sanitized, but they're also a microphone for what the club want the club to like. They are simply an amplification tool for the powers that be at Chelsea to make the club what they want it to be.
And that's why fanzines are more important.
Yeah, fanzines.
Whether you support Chelsea, Manchester United, City, whoever, buy the fanzines instead. These guys are slugging their balls off, selling their fanzines outside the grounds every single week. If you go to Old Trafford, buy Red News, buy United
Chelsea,
We Stand.
CFC UK.
Yeah, go buy those because
see only £1.
They're important, and a lot of them don't have huge amounts of subscriptions and all those kind of things. And those are the lifeblood of the club.
Completely.
Those are the voice of the club. Those are the voice of the fans going to the games every single week. So go and support your fanzines and don't buy a program.
Completely agree.
Mauricio Pochettino, Chelsea's new manager, soon to be. Is he overrated or underrated?
For me, slightly underrated. I know his time at PSG.
I thought we were going to disagree here.
Really? Yeah. I think you'll look back now. We've had enough time to look back at his time at Spurs. It's been a good 5-6 years since he was there in terms of peak Spurs, kind of that peak Spurs side with Dele Alli, Dembele in midfield, Harry Kane up front. We look back now, and I think you give that job to almost any other manager that didn't have the youth and the energy that Pochettino arrived at Spurs with from Southampton. He was fantastic at Southampton. I don't think any manager could have done what he did at Spurs. I really don't. I think it's probably the best Spurs side in Premier League era in terms of the way they fought for the shirt, the way they fought for the fans, the actual quality on the ball is unbelievable. He went to PSG. Unai Emery's failed at PSG. Ancelotti failed on some level because he didn't win the Champions League at PSG. It's a hard place to go. And since then, his kind of reputation has weirdly been damaged for some reason. I don't quite get it. I think if you throw Pochettino in at any club, at Newcastle, at Chelsea, which obviously could happen, I think he has got the ability to be a world-class manager. This guy was beating Guardiola in Champions League quarterfinals for Spurs. That's the reality. He got Spurs to a Champions League final, Adam. Come on, this guy's underrated.
Yeah. Definitely. I agree with you. So I don't really need to add much to that. I think he's a fantastic coach. And I think he will be for Chelsea, although I could see them potentially like making it difficult for him, the fans and stuff, if they treat him like they did Rafa Benitez.
He's the biggest clown in world football.
True stories. Number 2, is Thomas Partey overrated or underrated?
He's overrated for me. He's one of the most overrated midfielders I've ever seen in my life. Now, obviously, he goes through patches of being fantastic, but he was playing right back for Atletico Madrid, a couple of years ago, and he's done well for Arsenal. I'm not going to sit there and deny it. Can he boss a Champions League game against Bayern Munich? I'm not sure. I know Rodri can. I know Casemiro can in terms of how many Champions Leagues he's won. A year ago, he's bossing the midfield against Liverpool in the Champions League final. I've not seen it for Partey. I've not seen it. What's your take?
I think Thomas Partey is a fantastic footballer. I think he's one of the best midfielders in his role in Europe. But I think amongst Arsenal fans, he is. Because I have had loads of Arsenal fans coming up to me going, he's better than this, he's better than that, he's better than this, and it's better. Yeah. It's like, bruv, calm down.
Yeah.
Got mugged off by Declan Rice at West Ham.
Exactly.
Threw away 2 points for you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Had that wild shot at it. Like, what's going on there? So for me, Thomas Partey definitely overrated by Arsenal fans.
What about you?
I think he's correctly rated by Football World.
That's good. That's a good way of putting it. That's a bit more collected than I was able to sort of say. So, and the final one, celebrity owners.
I think it's overrated.
I think it's
based off Wrexham. Wrexham.
Based off Wrexham. Yeah.
Based off Wrexham, I think is overrated because people will think it's all great like that. Like Wrexham is. I think Wrexham's story has been amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's all roses like that. So I think people go, oh yeah, having a celebrity tied to your club's amazing and all that. Look at this. But the Wrexham isn't the only case study, I imagine, and I think it'd be pretty worse elsewhere.
All I'd say is very quickly, Wrexham have come from a place where their ownership, Wrexingham have come from a position of their owners were absolutely shocking 5-10 years ago, ran the club into the ground. So they're a football club. Every set of fans deserve a football club that is at least decently well run. Not everyone can win the Premier League.
I don't think Wrexham's owners are overrated.
I do.
I don't think they're overrated. I think the concept is overrated.
What, of celebrity owners coming in and...
off Wrexham's current...
It's Wrexham, you know.
I know.
You are joking.
But now we're sticking to
I'm
Wrexham.
just checking. I don't want any angry Welsh people, DMing me on Twitter about it. I'm saying Wrexham the right way.
So we're sticking to it.
I'm a big bootlegger fan, by the way. But I think the football pyramid's in a weird spot.
Is that giz that interviewed that fella just eating a pie?
Yeah. There's 1,000 clips. There's 1,000 clips.
Pasty flying out his mouth.
Genius bootlegger. We need to get him on the podcast. But long story short, I think Ryan Reynolds will get bored. He'll move on to Deadpool 5, and Wrexham will be in League 2 without a foot to jump from. Is that a saying? You know what I mean? I think it's a bit boring. I'd rather
without a pot to piss in.
Without a pot to piss in. No, but honestly, there's something about it. It's just so boring. And they're talking about Gareth Bale coming out, and the owners are tweeting Gareth Bale. Maybe I'm a sad old man. I shouldn't be at my age, but I think it's boring. I'd rather see Bury Football Club. They got put into administration, for example, one of the oldest clubs in the country.
Yeah, they'd be dying.
Yeovil Town, and now they got relegated out of the Vanarama National League. So there's a lot of issues in the football pyramid, and the fact Ryan Reynolds can come over and kind of throw some money around. They're not an issue. Pathetic.
They're not the issue.
Celebrity owners think they can come in and they're the biggest thing in the little town of Wrexham. I think it's pathetic.